This is the Fredericksburg Neighbors Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Dory Stewart.
Welcome to another episode of the Fredericksburg Neighbors Podcast. Today we have a fantastic neighbor to introduce you to, Ginger Walker of Give Back team of Coldwell Banker Elite. Ginger, welcome to the podcast.
Good morning, Sunshine. I'm so excited for this.
I am also excited for this. So let's start out. Would you mind sharing us a little bit about your business? Introduce us to your business.
Sure. So I'm a real estate agent. I have a small team in the Stafford, Fredericksburg area. We've actually been in business as a team since 2018, but I've been selling real estate since 2008. So I've been doing this like 18 years. I know it's so crazy to say that long. But I started off as the Give Back girl. Someone had given me that nickname because I had done a lot of charitable work. I sat on the board of directors for Fairy Godmother Project. And so when I became so busy, I wanted to work with like-minded people. And so in 2018, I had the opportunity to start the team, and hence it's now called the Give Back team. So we believe in doing good things and giving back to the communities that we live, work, and play in, while helping people find their dream home or, the next opportunity when we help them sell and move away. So, and one little note, we are an all-female real estate team as well.
That's awesome. I love that. I love everything that you do. And so tell me, so 2008, you got started. So what drew you to real estate to begin with?
So I'll be honest, it was a complete accident. By design. So I lived in New York City for a long time. I met my husband. We moved to Quantico because of my husband's job. Uh-huh. And, I was an executive in a pharmaceutical company. I ran a whole region. And at that point, we decided to start a family, and it was going to be very difficult for me to go back and forth to, the entire region, as well as Paris, which is where the corporate office was. So I became a mom. The mom hat went on, but I always loved working with people. I loved being in sales. I just liked that part of what I was doing before. And so my friends got into real estate. To be honest, two of the women that my husband, from my husband's job, their wives were in real estate. And I was like, hey, that sounds like fun. I like houses. I like decorating. I could do this. And we had built our house when we moved to Stafford back in 2002. And I realized that there was a lot of things that I wish would have gone better with the interaction with the agent that I had worked with. So I was like, I think I could do a better job than what someone did for me. And I can do all the things that I think I would love doing. And so I kind of fell into it in 2008, which honestly, if you know what the real estate market was in 2008, it was the worst time to get into real estate because the market truly was going down at that point. But for me, it honestly was the best time because I rolled up my sleeves and I learned in the worst economic market for real estate of my time, how to help people. And so ever since, it's just been so much fun. It's been a pleasure to be able to do what I get to do. And I'm so excited to get to do it every day.
That's amazing. Yeah. 2008, 2009, that was rough in the DC area. So I guess it's better to start when it's tough and then you grow from there and everything else. Now you're probably not, kind of shocked when things start to go down, up and down in real estate because you've been through it, right?
Right. Well, and the good thing for my clients is that I've been through it. So I can help guide them through, hey, listen, I understand how you're feeling, or interest rates are here, or you're worried about the job market, or, whatever it is. But because I've worked through, I worked all the way through COVID. I mean, there's been a lot of curveballs in the time that I've been in real estate. And so you just have to pivot. You have to slow down a little bit, and you have to really look at the big picture. So, and sometimes you have to look at the small picture. And I say that because people get nervous when they hear the national news, right? But you have to drill down and look at what's happening in the backyard that you're looking to buy or sell a house, because truly that makes the difference. I'll give you an example. There was a whole social media piece that came out, and it was the real estate market is crashing in the DMV. And that was right around the time that people were worried about the federal impact of job loss. But the reality was, if you actually looked at how many houses that impacted, 300% could look like, a large number. But if it was only a difference of 5 houses from the same month last year, is that a real big, is that a big number? 5 houses versus 300%. So it's truly education. So for me, learning when I did and being able to work through multiple different types of markets, I think really helps me help my client understand the reality of the situation that they may be looking at buying or selling in.
Yeah, you have a bigger perspective for sure.
Yeah.
So what would you say are some myths or misconceptions that people have about the real estate industry and realtors in general?
I love this question. I love it. Because you know what? We all tend to like the sensational piece of whatever it is that we're watching. So Bravo Television has those, real housewives, and they show the houses that they own and the cars that they drive. But they also have real estate related ones and the big paychecks. And we only show, 3 houses on some of the shows on other networks, and you magically buy one. And then, it's poof, it's so easy. That is the furthest from the truth ever. So, when you watch those shows, you have to take it with a grain of salt. And a lot of what you're seeing are these, ginormous multi-million-dollar homes. But the reality is that, in our area, our average sales price is around $550,000. And, the time to find a house takes a lot longer than a week or seeing 3 homes. And then magically you found the one. So I think it's that is the biggest misconception, is what you see on TV isn't truly the way that it is when you're buying or selling a house, or for us either as agents. It's not, and we don't walk around in stiletto heels going farmland.
Right. It's not this like quick turnaround, glamorous thing that you could just walk in and sell this, the
wind is blowing and we're all
right.
No, it's farthest from the truth. I mean, I have, big boots that have mud on them because I'm, walking around in the rain in a 3-acre lot, FaceTiming someone that's not even in the country, try and help them find their home. We get drenched, in the rain. We're dirty because we're walking into houses that are under construction. I mean, there's all different types of things that happen, and it's definitely, there is no makeup touch-ups.
Right.
And also it's not that easy. I think that's truly the thing that I think is the biggest misconception. Like, you see this big, dollar amount, and then you see this big price, of what the compensation is. But people also don't realize, like, when we're listing homes, how much goes into marketing, and that we pay that out of our pocket. So if we don't sell the house, we've just spent money on something that we actually haven't sold. So, not every house sells, and not every client purchases. And we do spend a lot of time with our clients to make sure that they're making the best decision for them.
Yeah. I could see that. So when you're not working hard and stomping through muddy yards, what do you do for fun?
I love to travel. So my husband, we're very lucky. He is stationed in London. So I get to go back and forth and have the opportunity to travel. So that's one of the things I absolutely love doing. I like doing it with my kids if they're able, because they're older now. One's graduating from college and the other one's just finishing his first year. So, but that's one thing I absolutely love doing, and spending time with my family and my 2 crazy dogs, and taking them on hikes and adventures, even just all around Fredericksburg and the Virginia area.
So fun. What breed of dogs do you have?
We have a Doberman, which my husband is a runner. And so that's why he wanted to get a Dobie. So he's crazy and I love him. But the other one we do as a team, we do clear the shelters every August at Stafford County. And so I pay for all the animals, and my daughter thought, wow, Bo, our Doberman, needs a puppy friend.
Aww.
And so she adopted Stella, who is a mixed breed, and she's just the sweetest dog ever. And the 2 of them, I call them Frick and Frack. They're Bo and Stella, but so one's a Dobie, one's a mixed breed, and they're both absolutely amazing. I love them.
That's awesome. So fun. Dogs are so fun.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's switch gears a little bit. So, can you describe a hardship or a life challenge that you can now say you rose above and you feel stronger because of it?
So my mother passed away from ovarian cancer when I was in my early 20s. And so, she gave me in life and in her passing a couple of gifts. And my sister's 4 years younger than me. So we were never in high school or college at the same time. And so I say one of the biggest gifts that my mom gave me was my sister because we became really close as a result of everything that was going on. But, for me, I was my mom's primary caregiver. So after college, I did start my first job. I moved back home to help take care of her. I mean, I was just barely graduated
Wow.
myself from college, but I realized how short life can be and how precious it is. And I think that in the gifts that my mom gave me in her life by doing things like pick out some of the toys that you no longer need or play with, and then go to the store at Christmas time and pick out some new ones, excuse me, so we can pass those on to someone else who doesn't have as much under the tree as you. It started with that, but I think that's why my business model and the way I am with
Mm.
wanting to help people, and I have a team name, and yes, it's Give Back Team, and you might see on social media some of the things that we do, but there's a lot more that I do personally that I don't share because it's just something that I've always done, and I think that was something I overcame was the loss of my mom, but it was the biggest gift and blessing because it truly propelled me into who I am today.
Wow. That is something really tough to go through at
Mhm.
such a young age. My daughter's 24, so that, kind of, I can't imagine at that age going through that. But
Yeah,
I love how you've turned that into such a personal thing that you now carry with you to give back. I love that.
yeah,
So thank you for sharing that with us.
yeah.
I appreciate that. So, what is one thing that you wish our listeners knew about your business?
Um, how much we like to partner with the community. So,
Mm,
we're not just real estate agents. We're not just selling and buying houses, but we like telling your story too, kind of like what you're doing with me.
mhm.
So we do on social media like to partner with local businesses or tell stories about people that are doing good things in the community. And so we truly believe that we live by the motto of do good things. That's actually a hashtag that we use,
Mhm.
and that we do more than real estate. Like our clients aren't just clients, they become part of our family and our friends. And so we do client appreciation events like all throughout the year. Actually, our next one is coming up and it's for Women's Day. And we're having all the ladies come to our office and make bouquets and play games. It's called Blooms and Bubbles. But we do all kinds of things like that with our clients and with our friends. We invite, I mean, a lot of these activities are actually open to the public. But we like to share that piece as well. So we're not just real estate agents. We don't just buy and sell houses. We want you to be a part of our family and our group. And we'd love the opportunity to share your story also, because I think that, I've always said that there's a ripple effect of kindness. You throw out a pebble in a pond and you just watch the ripples continue to grow. Eventually they hit the shore and they bounce back. And
Mhm.
so that's how I look at community. And I think that's one key thing that people don't realize, at least from my perspective and Give Back team, all the ladies on my team, is that we truly genuinely feel like we are a part of the community. We want to be a part of your world if you'll be a part of ours. And I think that that's the thing that a lot of people just don't realize. Like, it's not transactional for us, it's a relationship.
That's amazing. I love that so much. I love that truly think about, it's a lifelong relationship with
Mhm.
your clients. And I just love how much thought and intention you put into that and into putting back into the community. So I
Thank
just love
you.
what you're doing.
Thanks. I mean, it's fun because I get to see like people who I've helped them buy their first house. Maybe they were single, then
Mhm.
they get married and they buy the next house, and then they have kids and they need a different house. And so, I mean, I've got clients that go back to, I know I started in 2008, but I mean, my longest one that I still work with now that is in my world and sends me, their friends is from 2010. So, I
That's
mean,
amazing.
that's like that's a 15-year relationship that I have with them. So they're
Right.
not a client, they're a friend of mine. They know
Yeah.
my family and I definitely know theirs. So I love that part.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And being in Stafford as long as you have as a realtor is probably pretty rare. So you get to see a
Yeah.
lot of that. So that's
Yep.
awesome.
Yeah, and we moved here in 2002. So my kids were born and raised here. They grew up, they went to all the schools here in Stafford, and they were born at Mary Washington. So, I mean, this is our home.
I love it. So if the listeners want to learn more about all the amazing things that you're doing, where are the best places for them to find you?
So you can always go to our website. It's givebackteam.com. So it's super easy. Or you can find me on social media. I love connecting there. And I'm known as the real Ginger Walker because someone took over my account when it was just Ginger
Oh my
Walker. So
goodness.
now I'm the real one. So I'm the real Ginger Walker on Facebook. I'm the real Ginger Walker on Instagram. And you can also find me on TikTok, LinkedIn, and even Pinterest. So you can find me on social media, or you can also go to our YouTube channel where we have a lot of nice videos highlighting our area. And if you have recommendations for new restaurants or businesses that we can highlight, let me know, because we'll put them on our YouTube channel. And that's just, if you go to Ginger Walker, you'll find me there.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Ginger, for joining me on the podcast today and sharing Give Back Team with us. I just love what you're doing. And everybody go check her out. And thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Fredericksburg Neighbors Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to fxbgneighborspodcast.com. That's fxbgneighborspodcast.com. Or call 540-534-4618.
Awesome.
That was fun.